All right, Shalom, and welcome to another show of GMS Collage. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai first and foremost. Um, Double honors to the elder apostles, GMS, who rule well, and also honor and salutations to you other brothers that are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. All right, so today's topic is just basically gonna be me talking about something that I experienced today at work. Um, I got a couple scriptures in mind. Lord's will, they come out. Again, like I said, it's just a rant. You brothers can look up the scriptures that I mentioned. But anyway, we were at work today, and as you guys all know, today's election day. It's getting ready to close up in a couple of hours. I don't know exactly what time it is, but today's election day, and we were at work, and I was in my boss's office. We were having a conversation, and a couple of my colleagues or whatever you want to call them, co-workers that came into the office, and my boss had mentioned, he said, make sure you all go out and vote. And he kind of, he said it in jest. He's just kidding around. But I started thinking about it, and they were, vote, and if you don't vote, then you can't complain. And that's one of the sayings that I've always disliked. I can't stand that saying when people say, well, if you don't vote, you can't complain. But I look at it like this: if your complaint is not about the policy, but the system that the policy lives within, then you can complain. Our people, the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Haitians, West Indians, Puerto Ricans, so forth and so on, Brazilians, Guatemalans, Panamanians, so forth and so on. All those people, all these dark nations on this Western Hemisphere, our complaint is not about policy and what somebody's going to do within foreign relations and what somebody's going to do with the economy. Our complaint is that there is a people ruling over us, and he's doing it unrighteously, man. He's doing it unrighteously. This country that we live in was gotten by rape, robbery. Matter of fact, let's go to I'll go to Psalms first. This is Psalms Psalm 58:2. It says, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. And that's what the so-called white man did. He weighed the violence of his hands in this earth, and this is how he got America. People forget, and we are within the conversation that we were having, he kept saying that, there was something that he had experienced that made him proud to be an American. Which, all right, well fine, but people seem to forget how this country was attained. It's nothing to be proud of. The way this country was gained was by deceit, by tricking the people that lived here, and then the ones that you couldn't trick, you killed. That's not something to be proud of. If you have I don't know, let's say you got a wad of cash, and when you went and you worked and you earned that wad of cash, it spends better. It feels better to spend it when you earned it, when you worked for it. But when you steal it, it's like you spend it on anything frivolously. So anything that you gain, it's only good when you've gained it righteously, man. Matter of fact, let me finish this. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And that's how they got this place. Again, this movie that we always mention here in Boston. We always mention the movie Buried My Heart at Wounded Knee. And I recommend that movie to people, man. It's a good movie, but it shows how the so-called white men, when they came over to this country, how deceptive they were in taking this place, man. and keeping it on the topic of voting, when my people, my ancestors, were brought to this country against their will. They were brought to this side of the earth against our will. So what is it that we're voting for? This is not ours. We were brought here to serve a captivity. We were brought here to be imprisoned. So it's not my vote to have. This is not my dwelling. This is not my land. All right. So real quick, I want to go to another scripture I thought of just now. This is bear with me for a second here. This is Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk 2:5. It says, "Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home." Right. People always say, you know, as the story goes, the pilgrims came over here, escaping what's the word I'm looking for here? So tyranny. That's the word I'm looking for. They had a king over there that ruled with an iron fist, and they came over here to the Americas to live in a free country, to establish liberty. But think about that. The kings of old, they ruled underneath the law, statutes, and commandments. When you go into it, if you look deep enough, the kings that ruled in ancient times ruled by the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures. This is why the kingship and the church were so closely linked. They ruled by the law, statutes, and commandments. So if they were leaving from that so-called tyranny, that means that they were leaving from righteousness. They didn't want to live under rule. So they came over here to the Americas, right? So it says here, he neither keepeth at home. So what did he do? He had a house that he lived in, that he was being ruled under, and he brought his ass over here to this side of the world, right? It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Right. So they didn't just stop. They didn't just come to Plymouth Rock or to Ellis Island. They took the so-called first 13 colonies, and then they moved over to the westward expansion and the Louisiana Purchase, and then they went to out further west. They kept going until they got to the ocean and couldn't take no more. Then when they got to the ocean, they went to Alaska and took that. Then and you know they went to Hawaii, took that. Mexico, Puerto Rico, they took everything, man. They took everything. The so-called white people, and I'm not just talking about the English. I'm talking about the French, the Spaniards that came. They all those Edomite nations came over here and took all of this place. So what am I voting for? What is it that I'm taking? I'm taking part in the treachery. This so-called government, this so-called presidency, was established on deceit and thievery. So what does that say? People, and I'm watching these people when they have these conversations. They really don't think that how this country was gained was wrong. They really believe that what they did was right and it was justified. Right? So it says, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what they did. They didn't just put the nation of Israel into captivity. They put the whole world into captivity. They put the animals into captivity. They put the trees into captivity. They put the whole earth in captivity, man. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunt and proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So what did he do? He increased in that which wasn't his. That's what he did. He took a land that didn't belong to him, established a government. Now, there's a book that I recommend called the Black Indians, and you can go into the book to show how the North American Indians and the Negroes, how closely linked they were in the spirit, to show that they are indeed, related in some way, that they go back to the 12 tribes of Israel. But when you actually read the book, it'll show you that in school they teach you this, that they came over here, the Pilgrims were these nice people, they had Thanksgiving, and then America was established. That's that. At least that's what the impression that they give, right? But when you read that book, The Black Indians, this so-called American system, this American government that was going on concurrent to what the Gadites and the Reubenites were doing. They had their own constitution type documents. They had their own laws that they lived by. They had their own towns and their own cities that they established that was going on at the same time as this so-called America, right? So, and what did he do? He tried to take it from them, and those chiefs and the natives that were here who agreed, great. They put them on the reservations. And then those that didn't agree, those that didn't fall for the deceit, they were killed, man. So he increased in that which it wasn't his. So now, and going back again to this movie, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, it shows you, I forget the president at the time, forgive me, but if you go into the history of the Sioux Indians, it'll tell you what a president was in place. I think it was Jackson, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it doesn't matter what Edomite it was in the presidency. That movie shows you how wicked they were, man. How deceptive they were. Tell them we'll buy the land. To the Gadites and Reubenites, buy land was unheard of. What do you mean buy land? It's everybody's. If you want that piece of land, put a hut there or a tent, and you live there. As long as you're not taking it from anyone else, and as long as if they follow the Sabbaths of the land, as long as you take care of the land, you can live wherever you want. What do you mean buy land? But they didn't know that in their mind, they wanted to take this whole entire body of land from all the way to the tippy top of Canada, all the way down to the bottom of Texas, man, and even further than that, because you got Mexico. That's not the United States, right? But it was still taken over by the Spaniards, which are Edomites, So it says this is verse 7. It says, "Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee." So that's what they got coming to them. I'm not taking part in this society. When a lot of people don't know, back in 2005, my vote had to be renewed. What if I'm an American? I'm an American citizen now, right? I'm an American citizen. I as an American citizen, somebody that was born in this country, should have the right to vote, but my rights have to be. How do you renew a right? Rights are God-given. So that shows you what they think about you and your vote. For you Negroes out there that's out there to vote for Hillary Clinton. That shows you what they think about your vote, man. They don't think shit about your vote. When the presidency was established, when the United States Constitution was established, you were picking cotton. You were picking cotton, and it was unheard of for you to vote. It was unheard of for you to even speak, for you to even read. So let alone pick somebody off a ballot, and I'm supposed to take part in that? No way. It says this: because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Right. So they got to pay for all of those things that they did to this place, man, and to the people that were in this place, and to the people of the whole world. They took over the whole world. Verse 9, it says, "Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house." Right. You already got your own, but you going to try to take everybody else's. You got the so-called America, right? In every continent on earth, there is an American embassy. They're trying to take everything, man. A military base on every continent in the world. They heaping up everything, right? So it says that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. So if the Lord is telling them that they consulted shame to their house by cutting off many people, why would I take part in that? By being a so you have this Levite guy at my job. He said to me, "It's my civic duty." Why is it my civic duty to vote for a president when the presidency was created? I was nothing. I was nothing to them. It says this: for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. This city, America, was established by iniquity. So I'm not going to take part. Matter of fact, let me go here. This is, bear with me for a second here. Here it is. This is Micah 2:10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall surely destroy you, even with the sword destruction. So this is not my rest. I look for something greater than America will ever be. That's what I'm looking. I'm looking for the kingdom of heaven. I vote for the Lord Yahweh Shai. That's who I vote for. That's where my vote is going, because I know He's gonna rule in righteousness. I don't gotta question His policy and what He has going. I don't gotta question that. All right. So let me go back here in Habakkuk. This is verse 12. It says, woe unto him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. Behold, is it not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity? So again, going back to 12, I read a little further than I wanted to. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. And this city was established by iniquity. So I'm not taking part in it. And I know most Israelites, so-called, our nation of people, most of them don't know about this truth, and most of them don't know their nationality. But even not in knowing it, right? You knew that you were a Negro in America. You knew that at one time you were 3/5 of a man. You knew when the Constitution was created, you were considered livestock, and that's no different. And the proof of that is your rights to vote had to be renewed. Why that should have been made indefinite in the 80s, in the 70s even. Why does my right to vote have to be renewed? So for those of you, even though you don't know you're an Israelite, even though you don't know there's something better than this country that we live in, you still know that you were treated like livestock. So why would you vote in a system that treated you like an animal, that took you into captivity and made you work for free? Right. So I got another one that I was thinking of. This is no, wrong way. This is Psalms. Right. Forgive me, I'm just trying to read to see where I should start. I'll start at 20. This is Psalms 55 and 20. It says, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. Right. So when they came over here to these United States, when they came here, Shalakia, when they came here to these United States, the so-called North American Indians, the Gadites, nursed those people back to health. And there was another thing that my boss had mentioned. He said the only prerequisite to being an American back then was good health. As long as you can survive the trek from the Europe to America, then you were an American, right? So when being sick and dying on that trek when they were on their way over here, the North American Indians saw them and helped them and nursed them back to health. So they were at peace with them, right? And let alone the different peace treaties that had been signed between the North American Indians and the so-called Americans, right? It says he has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, and has broken his covenant, right? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And that's what happened, man. That's what happened. They came here, said they came in peace, right? And then but swords were in their hand, behind their back. So I'm not voting for this place, man, or anybody in it. You know? I'm looking for the prophecies to come to pass, man. Whatever president needs to be in office in order to further this prophecy that needs to come to pass, that's who I want in there. That's the guy I'm going for. The guy who, or gal in this case, the one I'm going for is the one that's going to further prophecy, and nothing else, and no one else. All right. So that was just a quick rant. I didn't have anything written down. I started to write stuff down, but then I was like, you know what? I'll just go with it. I wanna first and foremost say Tawadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for allowing me to take part in this truth. I hope that I can be found worthy. Secondly, I want to give double honors to the elder apostles who rule well and who have taught me how to do this, taught me how to use the scriptures to be able to speak the truth. And also I want to give honor and salutation to you other brothers that are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. And through all that's going on, through all the slander, through all the false witness, I implore you brothers to keep fighting. So with that, I want to say shalom.